So hello, my name is Kamal. I'm going to talk about the terror barrier lesson 7 in thinking into results. Um, in lesson 7, we're talking about how we get through from one side to the other of the terror barrier of something that we're accomplishing. We have a goal, we're trying to do it, we have an idea, we're going to go through that idea. But how do we go about doing it? What really happens and what kind of feelings we end up feeling as it comes about? So this is an explanation of the process as I understand it. Thank you so much for listening. So trampling the terror barrier is when we are taking a new idea, and we will be taking a new idea and injecting some feelings toward it, and we're trying to mix it with some old ideas. And when this happens, we start experiencing some reaction in our body, a rejection of the idea. We don't accept it right away. This new idea does not feel good, and you could even feel sick. You can even feel nauseated. It can really be a bad experience. So what's really happening, we are actually going from this bondage. Bondage is where we currently are, and this is kind of our normal idea right now, an X idea, and our results. So X idea in the mind, conscious mind, X in the subconscious mind, X in the body. And we're trying to go to reason this new idea, trying to reason this Y idea, a new idea coming to the conscious mind, and we're trying to take it through. So what happened, we hit this terror barrier. As we try to reason this idea, we hit the terror barrier. And the terror barrier is basically this new Y idea and X, they're fighting inside our mind. We're not used to that. And this is the terror barrier right here quickly. So we need to try to go through it to get to freedom. Now, how do we do that? And what's really going on? So on the opposite side of the wall, that's where the mind is calm. We're at ease because we have understanding. And in this side here, we are creating and reaching our new goal. If you want to be free, I want to be me. And basically, that's how it is at the end. You want to be who you are. You want to achieve that goal. So the process that we go through from bondage to freedom is when a person sees a Y idea in the conscious mind and everything's fine and nothing's going on at the beginning. You can see the idea, but if you don't react on it, nothing happens. So when a person starts acting on that idea, once you start acting on this idea and you're trying to reason with it, you have to think beyond that for anything to start happening. If you think beyond the idea, then things start moving around. Now, with this Y idea in the conscious mind, the individual will start to get involved with it. We're involving this Y idea and thinking about it. So worry starts to happen in the conscious mind. And then we're going to have fear in the subconscious mind. So we're going to have worry at first, then we're going to have fear in the subconscious mind. And then we could even have anxiety. This is what we call the terror barrier. When all these things, the worry, the fear, and the anxiety happening, it's hitting us, it's becoming a terror barrier. And this individual hits this wall and nope, I won't do it. Bounce back. Or they place an order and then they cancel it and bounce back. They tell you yes during the day and then they say no at night. This imagination and fantasy, when it's built into a goal, this individual endeavors to get there. This individual has to go from here, the bondage, to the new place. The feeling will start to increase and you start to have this invisible feeling, and you have to believe it so well and become incredible with it that you have to think that you deserve it. You have to get emotionally involved with it. You'll now be moving in a new vibration when you do that. So once you start getting involved with it, you start to move in a new vibration. You start to reason. And these are our senses: feel, hear, see, touch, smell. And you start asking yourself, do you really deserve that good? You have to believe it. You have to believe that it will show up in your life when you need it. And we don't need to know everything. We don't need to know the how we're going to get there. We don't need to know how all the solutions are going to happen to get us through this barrier. That's the key. I'm going to repeat that again. So when there is an understanding, we're on this side, there's an understanding of where we're going to go. We have some kind of ignorance. We have misunderstanding. We don't know how. So then we start getting worry and doubt into the conscious mind. Worry and doubt are coming to the conscious mind. Worry, doubt. Then we can have fear in the subconscious mind, which causes anxiety, which causes vibration into that body. And that's the kind of results you're going to get. So the body now becomes unhappy with this anxiety and it's suppressed. It's causing a storm. It's a depression. It's almost a kind of anger that's turned inwards. It's almost like a disease when you're diseased, and there's a disintegration and total unhappiness. To get away from this, you have to get understanding by studying. To win, you have to study, and you're going to have to take everything you need to require you to deliver at the right time. Things will show up. There's faith on this opposite side. You have to change that fear to faith. So you have to make that choice of faith instead of fear. Fear, faith is the polar opposite of fear. So faith based on understanding and studying will move mountains. This faith now will express itself as a well-being with a calmness, and you'll be at ease, and altogether it will create this sensation and creation that you can actually get through it. And the reason we want to do that, the reason we want to create it, that's why we're all here. We're all spirits, and we want to grow, and we want to use these faculties of ours, the creation mode. In the beginning, we're all ignorant of things, and we're trying to learn certain things. But some things but something we should not be. We got to develop it. We have to understand how we're going to live to be to that freedom area, so we can live freely. And if you want to be freely free, you really have to be you. I'll go back to the drawing. So finally, through this understanding, we can step through this barrier, through this understanding. We step through the barrier. So the basics of fear, doubt, and anxiety are left. They're not with us anymore. And through the understanding and studying, we were able to conquer this barrier. We have to persist. It may take several times. It may take a few times where you get to the terror barrier and then you go back. You get to the terror barrier and you go back. And persistence is going to become very important. And when we're navigating through any of the big changes in life, through big storms, the new businesses, new adventures, and new things to do, we end up feeling like this. Again, understanding is everything. Studying, knowing that this is what's happening when you get that feeling, when you're actually given that opportunity, that new job, that new goal, that new thing. That's what's going on in your mind. To achieve that new thing, to grow, you have to go through this barrier. And then even when you get here, when you get through this and you get to freedom and you're actually doing it, you got through it, you're going to go up again through another one, through another goal. So then you start building that win over win. So this process of going from bondage to reason, to terror barrier, to freedom repeats itself with the next cycle, with the next win, with the next company. Different levels of achievement. We're always going to have this barrier at different levels. And that's basically how it goes. So thank you very much for listening. And I hope I was able to explain this long enough. I think it's probably been going about 10 minutes. So thank you. God bless. And that's the terror barrier. Thank you. Good day.